You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Can you think of a better way to spend a beautiful Wednesday afternoon? These people can. They're coming to the ballpark, and you're sitting in front of the TV watching, and we're happy for that. As Kia Motors presents the Wednesday game of the week. It's the New York Yankees against the Seattle Mariners in the final game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball, along with John Flaherty and Paul O'Neill. I'm Michael Kay. Yesterday, it seemed so close that something really special was happening. Yankees won the game 4-1, but it could have been, might have been, a lot more special than that.
Yeah, you could tell right away yesterday with CC Sabathia. He had a great fastball, an outstanding slider, and you started thinking there was a chance at some history at Yankee Stadium. The slider, really the pitch that jumped out at everybody last night. 14 strikeouts for CC Sabathia. Unfortunately for him, the rains came, a little bit of a delay, and this is the pitch that broke up the no-hitter in the perfect game. A 2-0 fastball. You wonder if CC's second-guessing that pitch selection. All in all, his 15th win of the year. First pitcher in the majors to reach that mark.
All right, let's take a look at today's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Phil Hughes is going to go for the Yankees 1-2, 9.47. He'll go up against King Felix Hernandez, 8-9, 3.47. Paul, we were together for Phil Hughes' last start against the A's, and it wasn't his best outing.
No, he wasn't sharp, and there's still a minor little question mark, and it's very important for him to bounce back today. You see, these fastballs that he used to sneak by people are getting hit now, and they were hit by a team that's not offensively very good by the Oakland Athletics. So Phil Hughes, if you look at a lot of these pitches, end up right over the middle of the plate. You see his frustration. This is a big start for him today to see how the Yankees feel with him down the road.
And it's a huge start for King Felix. Hey, listen, the Seattle Mariners have a 17-game losing streak. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. Can he break it up? We'll talk about it next. Couple moments away from the final game of this three-game set. Felix Hernandez on the mound for Seattle. 7th big league season. He's been an all-star twice. Won the Cy Young Award last year. 249 and 2/3 innings. 2.27 ERA, and opponents hit 212 against him. And he led the American League in 2010. He is the goods, Paul.
Well, there's only a few pitchers that you know by name, by nickname, King Felix being one of them. I mean, if you'll watch just some of the stuff, overpowering fastball, the movement on that split finger. I mean, this is one guy that you've heard in trade rumors. They said no, and you see the reason why. I mean, his stuff is electric. It's better than almost everybody in the game.
A lot of pressure on the Mariners today. If they don't win with King Felix on the mound, how long could this losing streak actually go? When we come back, lineups, first pitch baseball, right here on Yes. doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by IOTV. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. Beautiful day here at Yankee Stadium. Just a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon. Kids from SS Joaquin and Ann School, part of Hope Week, throw out the first pitch, and Kim Jones will tell us a lot more about that a little bit later on as the Yankees continue their initiative that they will be doing all week. This is the third year they've done this, and the stories keep getting more compelling and more moving, and it's a great job by the Yankee organization and for all involved, the players as well. Well, the Yankees won yesterday 4-1. The Mariners have a 17-game losing streak. There's a lot on the line today. King Felix has to try to break that streak, and Phil Hughes has to be better than he was his last time out. This is the lineup that he's going to face, the Mariners starting lineup presented by HP. Ichiro Suzuki in right field will lead off. Batting second and playing shortstop, Brendan Ryan. Dustin Ackley, the second baseman, will hit third. Cleaning up, the first baseman, Justin Smoke. Adam Kennedy, the third baseman, bats fifth. Batting sixth, playing left field, Mike Carp. Franklin Gutierrez in center field, he'll hit seventh. Batting eighth, the DH, Jack Cust. And Josh Bard is going to catch, and he'll bat ninth. So Ichiro is ready for Phil Hughes, and Phil Hughes, obviously his numbers are not what they were last year, not where he wants them to be. 1-2 with a 9.47 ERA and a long DL stint there in the middle. 25 and 2/3 innings, 38 hits, 12 walks, so 50 base runners in 25 innings. That's 2 base runners an inning. Not good enough, and a .345 opponent's batting average again. So let's take a look now at the Jeep Pitchers scouting report.
I'm very proud of my scouting report today, Michael, and I want you to listen to both sides of it, home and away, because there is a theme behind it. Still a question. Phil Hughes is still a question because, you know, he really is not back to where he was. Is he going to be part of this rotation? We'll see. Control, I mean, if he's not going to be able to blow balls by people like he did in the past, he's going to have to get better location-wise with his fastball. Here comes the sun. Well, he's 10-3 over the past 3 years in day games. Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
John, does he have the right to be proud on that report?
He does, but I'm anticipating Felix Hernandez now because you threw out a tease in the radio business. Right. Michael knows that.
Wow. I can't wait. Can't wait. Phil Hughes cannot wait to get back on the mound after his performance against the Athletics. Did not get a win in a game that he led by 12 runs. Ichiro digs in. Phil Hughes is ready on a gorgeous sun-splashed day here in New York City. Let's do it. And the first pitch is low, and we're underway. Mariners coming at 43-60, so they were 43-43 when this losing streak began. The 1-0. Missed outside. Home plate umpire is Hunter Wendelstedt.
17 in a row for the Mariners. I'm sure they look on paper today and feel good about their chances.
Popped up. Gardner is there, and there's one away. Take a look at the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher left to right in the outfield. Infield, Nunez, Jeter, Cano, and Posada. That's third to first. Russell Martin behind the plate, and Phil Hughes is on the mound.
Just can't help but notice that Ichiro is just, I mean, you used to fear him leading off innings because you knew something was going to happen. Is this year not the player he has been in the past?
I mean, that was a 2-0 fastball right there, just a weak fly ball to left field, and went one hit in this series so far.
Fastball strike to Brendan Ryan, 92 miles an hour. I would think that the Mariners have an inordinate amount of pressure today. Phil Hughes has not been pitching well. King Felix is the reigning Cy Young Award winner. And if they don't win this one, they have to wonder, well, what game will we win? How long will this go? Eric Wedge, their managers tried everything. He shaved off his trademark mustache a couple of games ago. That didn't work. And his team just seems anxious. They don't seem as if they're really enjoying themselves at all. How could you be with such a losing streak? Brendan Ryan, 10-game hitting streak, and he extended that, breaking up the perfect game with one out in the 7th inning last night. And there's a fastball, 93 miles an hour. Ryan swings and misses.
You know, that's what we're used to seeing from Phil Hughes when he is right, being able to elevate a fastball with a little bit of life through the zone, 93 miles an hour. But he hasn't been able to get a lot of swings and misses this year, and it's a good sign early for Phil Hughes.
think is Phil Hughes taking the mound today would know that he wants to throw up a good outing and get back to where, you know, there's a different feeling about him after today's game than there was his last start against the Athletics.
Count 2-0. Let's take a look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 80 degrees, 41% humidity, wind 10 miles per hour, and the forecast is mostly sunny.
Better today than it was late, right?
Yeah, it's nice.
Don't even tell me about chance of showers.
No, there's none. And really, you really can't blame me for the rain, Paul.
Every time you bring it up, it rains.
93 is something we have not seen consistently from Phil Hughes, so far so good here in the first inning. And the 2-2. Inside, 3-2. And the 3-2 to Ackley. Lined into center field. Right there is Granderson, and he'll put it away for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning for Phil Hughes. Mariners nothing, and the Yankees coming to bat against King Felix. HP. Brett Gardner in left field will lead off. Batting second, the captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter. Curtis Granderson in center field will hit third. Cleaning up the DH, half day off for Mark Teixeira. Robinson Cano, the second baseman, will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing right field, Nick Swisher. Russell Martin will catch. He'll bat seventh. Batting eighth, playing first base, Jorge Posada. And Eduardo Nunez is the third baseman, and he's going to bat ninth. Here are the numbers on King Felix. 22 starts, 8-9, 3.47. The numbers not as great as they were last year, but still very good. Let's take a look at the Jeep Pitcher Scouting Report. We've been waiting for this.
Well, New York state of mind. He's 4-0 with a 1.29 ERA over the past 5 starts against the Yankees with 2 shutouts. So he's not intimidated. Young blood. Among active pitchers, he's already had the most wins turning before the age of 26. He doesn't turn 26 till next year. And please, Mr. Plea, y'all know he gets no run support. 7 runs in his last 5 outings. I mean, they're 0-6. I mean, they're 17 games they've lost, and they're just looking to win somehow. So did you get it? What's the theme?
John, I don't get it.
Lost. Come on.
We're both lost.
Really?
What's the theme?
Can I see him? Come on. You're going to be embarrassed. You're going to be embarrassed.
All right.
I thought for sure that King Felix would give it away. His scouting report.
There's a strike. You got us both. We're both lost. John, you have any idea?
I have no idea.
Nothing.
No.
You're both going to be humiliated and embarrassed.
The 1-1
pitch.
All right, here's a double Jeep Scouting Report, side by side.
I thought that this would give it away to Michael.
Billy Joel. Here comes the sun.
They're all songs. Still, Little Commodores. Control, Little Janet Jackson. Come on. Empire State of Mind, Jay-Z. Youngblood. I went to Bad Company there. Please, Mr. Please, this is embarrassing. I got to go to Olivia Newton-John. And Here Comes the Sun. Have you ever heard of that one, Michael?
Yes, I have.
Is that awesome?
Wow.
Huh?
There's an Emmy in your future, or a Grammy, I don't know.
Maybe I need to go into the music business, huh? You had no clue there after Empire State of Mind? You play that on your radio show all the time.
I didn't have a clue. Well, why are you jumping me? John didn't either.
You know, I'm not musically inclined at all.
Is that right?
That's my
Audrey,
excuse.
did you get that? Kim, the girls all got it. Jack, how about you over there behind the camera?
Jack didn't get it either. Count 3 and 2.
Jack's always got headphones on. He hadn't heard a song in 20 years.
Last 2 starts at the Yankees at this stadium. 2-0 has not allowed a run. 22 strikeouts. Pretty good. The 3-2. Now, did you work on those scouting reports all night, or you just come up with it today?
I just all of a sudden I saw that. I got this thing. I'm like, I got Michael today. But then I thought I gave it away, but you blew it. Sorry.
Well, still a question is not a song. You can't just take one word out and say it's a song.
I was going to underline it, but the truck wasn't working with me. You know, they just keep changing pictures when I need to explain things. You see movement there. I mean, and you see movement in slow motion, but I mean, that's where his strength is his velocity and his movement.
Yellow Levo gets a day off. Josh Bard taking over and off to a rough start here in the first.
Three, 2, and he walks him. In his last 5 starts, as Paul said, he's gotten just 7 runs of run support, but he is 0-3 with a 4.42. Today's closed captioning brought to you by Verizon Wireless. So Gardner's on first. He has stolen 17 straight bases without being caught. And here's Derek Jeter. Derek 7 for his last 19.
Felix Hernandez, as good as he is, he has not got a win since late June. A lot has to do, obviously, with run support, but he hasn't been at his best. I mean, in his last outing in Boston, he got beat up a little bit. So, you know, he might just be kind of being brought down by the pressure of having to pitch perfect with no run support. But also, you know, he threw 250 innings last year. I mean, you know, sometimes that does show up late in the year, the following year.
He's thrown an average of 106.3 pitches per game over the last 5 seasons. That's the 4th highest in the majors. Justin Verlander, Roy Halladay, and CC Sabathia have only averaged more. He's also allowed 11 stolen bases over his last 8 starts, so you can run on him, and Gardner knows that.
Yeah, and Josh Bard behind the plate, the backup catcher. I mean, he's a pretty good offensive player and gets rid of the ball in good shape. Doesn't have the strongest throwing arm. Quick release.
It's kind of surprising because you know, in the scouting report you went over Felix Hernandez and how well he's pitched against the Yankees record-wise, 4-0, a couple of shutouts. But then you go down the list. I mean, Teixeira hits .313. Jeter hits .346 career. Cano .320.
Runner goes. Grounded to third. Kennedy with a nice play. Will throw it across the diamond, so Gardner advances to second.
Usually don't see that kind of team numbers offensively against a guy that's been shutting you down.
Little hit and run right here. Derek Jeter, a little in between hop for Kennedy. The only play he has across the diamonds. We saw Figgins playing third last night. Kennedy takes over this afternoon.
Here's Curtis Granderson. Had a home run in yesterday's game. Opposite field shot. First one to left field this year. Strike. Hunter Wendelstedt had a great voice today.
Got it really mic'd up.
I think that's natural.
That was interesting. Joe Girardi commented on the competitiveness of Granderson and Teixeira, and I think it's easier to do things when guys on your team are kind of doing the same things. It doesn't, you know, if Granderson's got 28 home runs and everybody else has 5 or 10, all of a sudden it starts to sink in what a great year you're having. you know, another guy's kind of going along with you. It's just, you know, you subconsciously just kind of keep up. If he's doing it, I'm able to do it.
1-1. Grounded foul. Let's look at the Major League Baseball RBI leaders, brought to you by the HP touchpad. Everybody on. Good looking touchpad and pretty good RBI leader list. Adrian Gonzalez of the Red Sox with 84, and then you got Granderson and Ryan Howard tied at 77. Granderson is having an MVP type of season, and he strikes out looking. 95 fastball away. Let's take a look at the Mariners defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Carp, Gutierrez, and Suzuki left to right in the outfield. Kennedy, Ryan, Ackley, and Smoke third to first. And Bard behind the plate with King Felix on the mound.
Did you hear that last strikeout flash? Didn't that always kind of irritate you as a hitter? You know, yeah, I know I struck out. You don't have to let that 50,000. A couple of them might be watching, not be watching why I strike out. Just got to let everybody know.
Best fastball he threw to Granderson there, 95 miles an hour. And, you know, I watch Hernandez and I think back to Pedro Martinez. You know, you might be able to get some hits off him without runners on base, and then all of a sudden just steps it up to another level.
Here's Granderson, strike 3, and we'll also hear it. Believe me, he screamed.
It is loud. Or Dutch Renner. Dutch was one of the guys. I mean, he took long and almost like the guy from Naked Gun. He turned sideways, do the half moonwalk, and bring you up.
In the dirt. Pretty good success against Hernandez. 15 for 48 with 4 home runs. Now, Teixeira hit his 100th Yankee home run yesterday. He has 303 career home runs, and that's the most ever by a switch hitter through his first 9 major league seasons. Mark's putting a good power year together, 28 and 76. 3-1. He walked him, so the second walk this inning by Felix Hernandez. And by the way, second on that list is Mickey Mantle, who had 280 through his first 9 seasons. IOTV offers incredible HD picture and sound. Get the best in HD free. IOTV is the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on yes. Here's Cano. A little bit of a slide. 5 for his last 22, down to 290. So Gardner is at second and Teixeira at first. Hernandez wears his cap almost like CeCe, kind of tilted to one side. Cano has good numbers against Hernandez. Count 1-1.
Always frustrates you as a really, really good pitcher is even when they get in a fastball count, you know, he's missed with a couple breaking balls or something, and then they'll just throw an absolute missile on the outside corner, something you can't handle anyway as a hitter. Such a luxury as a pitcher to have a fastball good enough to get by guys and hitters' counts.
Have a changeup that can get in a hitter's head, thinking, you know what, here comes the changeup, and the next thing you know, that fastball's by you.
Count 2-1. Cano, a 293 hitter with runners in scoring position. Bottom of the first inning, just underway here at the stadium. The 2-1. dribbled slowly up the first baseline. King Felix Fields fires to first, and they get Cano, and that will do it. So the 2 walks do not hurt Hernandez. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We played 1 here at the stadium. There's no score on yes. These American League right-handers has the nastiest stuff. You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. And here are your choices. Number 1, Josh Beckett. Number 2, Felix Hernandez. Number 3, Justin Verlander. Number 4, Jared Wheeler. I guess you'd take all 4.
I was going to say, is there all of the above? That's a tough list.
Yeah, because of you just on given nights, some guys, but to me, Verlander, because he can throw 100 miles an hour with his fastball. King Felix, because he can mix speeds. Weaver's a great pitcher, having a great year, but a guy that is a hitter, possibly, you feel like you can get a pitch to hit at least.
Justin Smoke pops one up in foul territory to Nunez. 1 away. That's going to bring up Kennedy. Cutter inside, count 1-0. And a strike.
Phil has talked an awful lot about trying to be more aggressive, and it looks like early in this game, working fast and really throwing that fastball. Curveball for a strike there. Body language looks better.
That breaking ball right there, it was a sharp breaking ball. It didn't roll up there, and that's the big difference where he's successful with his breaking ball, and it has to do with what he's pitching off his fastball.
Right in on the hands, short fly ball to right, and Swisher's there, 2 down.
You always pull for all your teammates, but Phil's refreshing to me in a little way. He's brutally honest. If he doesn't have a good game, he'll call himself out and say, "I was terrible today. It has to get better." And I think from a teammate's perspective, you appreciate it. Got to find a way to get better. Larry Rothschild doing a lot of work with Phil.
And pitch to Carp is low. Slice foul the other way. And the 1-1. 2-1.
four-seamer right there. That's in the old days when you're hitting good, you could really pick up the spin of the ball. Not quite that good as you did in the slow motion. Ball dribbled out into right field.
So a base hit for Carp. That's going to bring up Franklin Gutierrez. Franklin 15 for 36 here at Yankee Stadium. He's had an injury-plagued start of the season and really never gotten to be the player that the Mariners expect him to be this year.
That's a swing right there. You really don't understand. I mean, coming in, he's a good player, guy that hit 280 last year, 18 home runs, and I mean that's just a strike one fastball right there. Looked like it went right by him.
He had intestinal problems in spring training, lost a lot of weight, has had trouble putting it back on. I know the feeling, and and he's just not in the shape that he was last year. Thank you. But he can still play center field with anybody. He can get him. He covers gap to gap. The 0-1. John, don't you get the sense in your vernacular that he is proud of his fastball today? He's using it a lot.
You know, I just like his body language and his demeanor. I mean, it looks like he's trying to establish that pitch early on, and we've seen a couple of swings and misses, which is one of those. Yeah. We haven't seen that a lot lately, so I think encouraging early on.
Count 1-2.
You know, the radar gun is a funny thing too, because you could be throwing 91, 92, and it's got some life and it's some deception. It'll be right by some hitters, and other guys throw 95, and hitters see it well and get some pretty good swings. So a lot has been made of the velocity. I think I pay attention more to the swings that the hitters are taking up there.
One-two. Foul back.
Talked about being proud of his fastball today, Michael. He shook off a breaking ball there and went back to his fastball. So, a two-strike count. A lot of pitchers like to go to that breaking ball. So, it feels like he's getting the ball by Gutierrez.
The 1-2. Foul back.
'93 there, and I don't think we saw 93, 94 the whole last game, did we, Michael?
No, I don't think so. I think he was consistently at 91. Occasionally he touched 92. And he's consistently at 93 today. The 1-2. Tried the breaking ball there. Still 1-2. Gutierrez making him work.
I think he had him set up for that breaking ball, and he kind of rolled one in there up in the zone a little bit. It was a foul ball. It could have been a lot worse, but you know, when he's right, it's that fastball up and the breaking ball in the dirt, and he gets swing and a miss for a strikeout.
Watch that last pitch and that swing. It's almost like that breaking ball sat in the zone for a long time, and it just means that there's not a sharp break on that one. And he has thrown some good ones so far.
1-2. 2-2. A big start for Hughes. Not that he's in danger of losing anything, but the Yankees have to see something out of him, and if they don't see a progression, maybe that forces them to make a deal for a starter. Now, if they're impressed by what they see with Hughes, well, then the leverage swings in their favor. Everybody's seeing this game, so it's important.
Now, this has got to drive a pitcher crazy when you're throwing pitches and the guy. Tell me, as a catcher, I mean, you're just like, well, I'm putting these fingers out, I'm trying everything. Yeah. Put the ball in play or strike out.
Right. And he saw it a little bit with Phil when he came off the mound there, kind of deflated, like, all right, let's go. You get me or I'm going to beat you one way or the other. Let's figure it out.
Two. Now 3-2, so that's going to release Carp at first.
Release a little Carp over there, Michael.
Absolutely. Posada's trying to get a signal whether or not he should play behind him, but they say no, stay at first. He walked him. So Gutierrez wins that long at bat, and Carp advances to second. Follow the New York Yankees with the MLB.com @Bat11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Yankees.com for details.
Flash, where's Flemington? Flemington, New Jersey. Is that close to here?
I think that's like Middle Jersey.
Oh, is it? The reason I asked that, Jack Cuss born in Flemington, New Jersey.
The Jack Cuss Hitting Academy down there too.
Oh,
very
right?
successful, yeah.
Count 1-0. Late Danny Federici of Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band was the pride of Flemington, New Jersey.
See how he took that music theme?
See, I got it. Now I got the wheels rolling. Although I guarantee, and I thought about this the other day when you heard all about the Paul McCartney thing here in Yankee Stadium and what a great success it was. I almost asked you, if you could have one concert here, it'd be Springsteen.
Yes.
No doubt about you, Flash.
Yeah, I agree.
Springsteen?
Yeah.
So you can tell you guys are Jersey and New York guys. I love Springsteen. He's great, but it's like here, there's no thought about it. It's Springsteen or Bon Jovi, some of the bands from around here.
High fly ball, left center, going back is Granderson, still back, and he'll make the play for the final out of the second. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the second. There's zeros on the board. Tomorrow's an off day for the Yankees. Then the Orioles come into town for 4 games. Friday night, then a day-night doubleheader on Saturday, and then an afternoon game on Sunday. Then the Yankees hit the road. Big road trip. 4 in Chicago against the White Sox and 3 in Boston against the Red Sox.
It's a scheduling error there, Michael?
No.
Little double dip on Saturday.
A little double dip.
Little day-night doubleheader.
I'm going to get my rest.
Kenny Singleton will be in town with us. Here's Nick Swisher. Fouled away.
Kenny and I are working together alone, Michael. Without you, we're kicking you out of the booth.
The second game of the doubleheader, I had previously confirmed to go to a wedding. of one of my producers on the radio show, Andrew Gumling, and I couldn't get out of that. Didn't want to get out of it. So you guys were gracious enough to do the game.
Don't know if I've ever done a game in my whole career without you.
Are you going to be all right?
I'm getting a little nervous now.
Kenny will abuse you.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Like, can I tell him to read me into this and stuff like I ask you?
Oh, yes. There's a lot of time. Base hit, you're right. Well, I'll warm you up. I'll do the first game with you guys and then leave.
All right.
All right? So that's the first hit surrendered by Hernandez. He walked 2 in the first inning. There's so many rumors with the trade deadline on Sunday. Can somebody pry King Felix away? And the Mariners emphatically said yesterday, absolutely no way. You can make a 7-player offer. You can make a 10-player offer. This is the type of pitcher that you build around. You don't trade. So Jack Zredzik, the GM of the Mariners, completely poured cold water on that, said he is not trading him.
What do you think, Flash? Do you ever think that they have to say that? And then if you are blown away, it's like, you know, we made a decision, we had to do it. Or is that just an emphatic no?
Well, you know, my first thought was I would hate to be a GM in that position where, you know what, I don't want to be the guy to trade Felix Hernandez. What is my fan base going to think? But we talked a little bit about this last night. I mean, they're a few pieces away from contending. You can pull off a blockbuster and I guess have faith in your scouting department that you're going to get good players back.
Ground ball at third. There's one. On the first, it's a double play. And if you look at second base, you wonder if they gave him the neighborhood call. I'm not sure if he was on the bag, but it's a double play nonetheless. 5-4-3. Why don't we take a look at the double play? The G Capital partner playing great partnerships are built on trust. At G Capital, we prove that every day.
Russell Martin rolls over one. Sets up what could be a easy double play. Swisher gets down there quick, though, and I don't know, Michael, you might be right.
Let's see if he was in the neighborhood or actually on the bag.
Bang, bang.
You got to give him
that.
Posada lost one to deep left center. Gutierrez drifts over, makes the play, and that will do it. No runs to hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We played 2 at the stadium. No score. Each team with a hit, and also in the third inning we'll check in with our good buddy Kim Jones, and Kim, hope week continues here at the stadium. Why don't you tell us about today's honorees?
It does indeed, Michael. And today's honorees are the Haitian refugees of Saints Joachim and Anne School in Queens Village. These are children whose lives were in ruin after the January 2010 earthquake in Haiti. They sought refuge here in the Queens Village community and surrounding areas, and certainly at the school as well, which is a predominantly Haitian population. It is a tight-knit group that also felt the sting of that devastating earthquake, reached out to help, and 15 children from Haiti ended up in their community. The children are ages 7 through 13, and 12-year-old Tiffany told me today she loves living in Queens Village. She says it's fun, there's so much to do. Well, how's this? This morning, the children, some teachers and administrators boarded a bus. They were told they were going to the library. Well, that bus took some wrong turns. It ended up right here at Yankee Stadium. There is quite a day planned for these children and an evening as well. You know we can't give away secrets of Hope Week. I can tell you the children know they will be lighting the Empire State Building tonight. It's going to be quite a day.
All right, now Charles Boot, Kim, he's the youngster who threw out the first pitch. Tell me his story.
He's 12 years old, Michael, and he lost both of his parents in the earthquake. He did come here where he's living with an aunt and an uncle. He was all smiles. He was told by Joe Girardi that he was throwing out the first pitch. Joe said to him, you better get your arm warmed up. Charles was chosen to throw the first pitch because he's a well-behaved student who's always smiling and talking to everyone, according to his teachers, and that they mean in a very good way. He's a very nice kid. And listen to this. Paul and John are going to appreciate this about young 12-year-old Charles. He didn't throw a baseball ever until yesterday, and that's when assistant principal Rafael Corso told him, we better throw this ball around. He had an inkling Charles would be throwing out that first pitch. Today, he picked up a ball and delivered a strike to Russell Martin.
Great stuff, and especially with this group today, and we're seeing a video of it right now. It was a pretty good pitch.
Right down the middle.
A kid who never threw a pitch before, and yesterday was also very special, and the Tuesday's children that were honored yesterday, it's still resonating in the ballpark, Kim.
Absolutely. It was a very special day here, Michael. And Tuesday's Children, a September 11th support organization founded in the year following the terrorist attacks. 175 children have participated. 50 are currently in the active mentoring relationship with Tuesday's Children. And yesterday there was a beach party at the South Street Seaport. There was music, fun, games, and a water fight broke out. I'm told the players who participated got most of the water battles, and the kids were watching, and they were enjoying it. As you look at those water balloons, Mariano Rivera, Phil Hughes, Steve Garrison, Curtis Granderson, Corey Waite, and Joe Torre participated. Torre gave out the Mentor of the Year award to a 28-year-old man named Keith. How about this layer to this story? Because Hope Week is so special and has so many antennae. Keith lost his sister in 2007 in the campus shootings at Virginia Tech. It was then that Keith told me he decided, I need to act, I need to help others. He became a mentor for Tuesday's Children. His mentee is 10-year-old Robert, who was still in the womb when his father was killed while working at Cantor Fitzgerald on that awful day. And Keith told me that to see the children have meaningful conversations with the Yankees yesterday, not only during that beach party, but here at the stadium when they were stretching and running with the players, meant so much to him. And we know it meant a lot to the kids who literally were all smiles.
And some of the kids were stretching almost like he was the Pied Piper around Mariano Rivera, right?
You got that right. And Mariano made a good friend yesterday, and that is 10-year-old Jake. Jake was 10 months old when his mother was killed on September 11th. Mariano told me, I don't know, Jake and I just clicked, and did they ever. They were together all day long, including in the clubhouse, where Mariano made sure Jake got a picture with every single Yankee at his locker, and Mariano was so happy to be taking those pictures with Jake's iPhone. And Mariano did tell me he intends to keep in touch with Jake. How about this? He gave Jake his cell phone number and said, you can't give this to anyone else. Jake has already called and left a message, and Mariano told me he does intend to stay interested in Jake's life, and he will stay in touch with the young man who was so thrilled yesterday to be tagging along with Mariano Rivera.
Kim, I got to tell you, I mean, these stories are so moving, and I don't know if an organization with famous people, whether it's actors or athletes, could do something more important than the Yankees are doing during the 3 years of these Hope Week.
Michael, and it's when you see the faces of the honorees and those who are being helped by Hope Week, and certainly they have as much impact on the Yankees as the Yankees do on them.
Good stuff, Kim. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
So Ichiro Suzuki, who had that single to left, now steals second with 2 outs, so he's in scoring position.
This is what we're used to seeing from Ichiro. A base hit the other way, stolen base. Looked like a good throw would have had a chance to get him. That's his 27th on the year.
I'll tell you what, that's a bad slide right there. You see that knee kind of getting caught behind him.
So count 2-0 on Dustin Ackley. Foul back.
Very surprised that, Ichiro, good piece of hitting, drives the ball the other way, but then, kind of waits a lot of pitch. I think when you're on a 17-game losing streak, I think you take chances. I think you need to steal bases. You got to try to do something to change how easy it's been for the Yankees to go, 1, 2, 3. Make pitchers make big pitches with guys in scoring position.
Line drive. That's a base hit to right center field. That's going to score Ichiro, and it splits the outfielders and goes to the wall. Ackley's at second. He's going to third. The throw is not made by Cano. It's a triple for Ackley, an RBI, and the Mariners lead 1-0.
Well, Ackley had a pretty good at bat. His first at bat hit a line drive to Curtis Granderson in center field, and then back-to-back fastballs right down the middle. Had a pretty good swing at the one he fouled off, and then times this one a little bit better and drills it to the gap in right center field. 2-out triple gets the Mariners on the board. They finally lead a game here at Yankee Stadium, playing from behind for 2 days.
There's Justin Smoke, and a breaking ball is a strike. Fastball is inside, and the count 1-1.
I don't know if you're Eric Wedge, but it's got to enter your mind, and you look up, and for once you've got a lead. You think, man, is this the day? You've got your stud on the mound, your king on the mound. Well, it's only 1 run, and it can change in a hurry, but boy, you'll just anything for a shot of hope over there right now.
Count 1-2. How about this, though? The Yankees want to be buoyed. The Mariners have lost each of the last 8 games in which they scored first.
There's not going to be too many good positive stats you can bring up against Seattle in the last 17 games. I guarantee you that.
During the streak, Paul, they're hitting .218. They've been outscored now 101-46, and they've pitched to a 5.93 ERA.
That's even worse than I thought it'd be.
Swung on and missed, and Smoke is down, and that will do it. So the Mariners get on the board. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 man left. Let's go to the bottom of the third. It's 1-0 Seattle. Bronx coverage will start at 6 with Audi batting practice today. And the Tri-State 4 pregame. Then Ken Singleton joins Paul and me in the booth for all the action. Orioles Yankees. It all starts Friday at 6. It's only on Yes. The Lincoln Scoreboard has the Mariners up 1-0. Then they probably said to King Felix in the dugout, okay, you got your run.
There you go. Go get it.
Dixon Nunez is a strike. King Felix won the Cy Young Award last year with a 13-12 record. But all of his other numbers are so extraordinarily good that the writers who vote for the award, they read through the wins. And they said you can't penalize a guy for a team that doesn't score runs. My only argument with that, and I understood he had a tremendous year, was, you know, when you're sitting in your rocking chair and you're 90 and you're a pitcher in the big leagues, you're not going to talk about, gee, I had a great whip. You're going to say, gee, I won 23 games that year. And they do pay off on wins, but that's not the way it was voted. This is what he did last year. He had 13 wins, which was tied for 18th, but everything else was first or second. Innings, ERA, strikeouts, opponents' batting average against, quality starts, and a 1.06 whip.
You know, you can't argue with those numbers, but, you know, here seeing CC Sabathia and sometimes pitching to the scoreboard where you're going to give up a few runs. You know, if you're leading 6-1, you might challenge somebody. It might be a 2-run home run, so the ERA not as impressive. Not taking anything away from Felix, but you can argue this point all day long. Who was deserving?
Who's Brett Gardner? It's funny you brought that up, John, because that was my argument last year, that if you have a lead, you pitch differently.
You do. You do. Always love Felix Hernandez on Yesmo. You get a good look at that twist in his motion and gets all his weight on his back leg so he can really explode towards home plate. Kind of Louis Tianish, huh? Get a good look from the side.
Rose that way, Michael, we saw very successful also is Cueto. Johnny Cueto from Cincinnati uses that little turn, and every once in a while, you know, you kind of lose your release point because of that turn. It's kind of hard to find a great arm slot early in the game, but Hernandez has had no problem, obviously.
Well, you know who has a problem? AJ last year kind of did that twist on the mound and got a little bit turned too far and had a tough time coming back down the hill. But Hernandez, I'm not saying AJ's not athletic enough to do it, but Hernandez is.
He's missed with that pitch and count 2-2. Gardner walked in the first inning. Two. Grounded to second. Ackley for the second inning. And that's going to bring up Jeter.
I didn't hear a lot of the press conferences last night with CC. Did he hint? I don't know if you did. I'm sure you did, Michael, that he felt different after the rain delay? Or did he say that, you know, I was a different pitcher after the rain delay or anything like that?
You know what? I heard it, and he was adamant that there was no way he was coming out of the game after the first rain delay.
No matter how long.
He said, I'm pitching. I'm pitching. But he said after the second one, he didn't know if he would go back out there.
Fouled away. And he said he did feel badly that he put the Yankees in that predicament by walking three and having Robertson come in and have to escape that. But the guy they call Houdini did a good job.
He's back on his roll, and he struck out. He broke his record of striking out consecutive people, but then he ended up striking out another, so now he's got another streak going.
That's right. Or we could go with the 11 out of 12.
Okay.
Angels lead Cleveland 2-1. Urban Santana has a no-hitter through 7 1/3. Although Cleveland has a run, Santana is working on a no-hitter.
Walks in an air. Is that how we figure that one out?
I've been through this. My major league debut, Matt Young threw an 8-inning no-hitter and lost. A couple of walks, Stolen base here or there, which I'm not proud of there, Paul. Ground ball, sac fly.
Those balls in the dirt, that's why they stole them.
The 1-2. Strike three. Jeter down looking. He does not like that call. And he'll have a word or two with Hunter Wendelstedt as the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. We're going to the fourth inning. It's 1-0 Seattle. Quiz. Felix Hernandez won the 2010 American League Cy Young Award with 13 wins. Which Yankees pitcher also had 13 wins when he won the award? I think I know that one. I think I know it. It's a little bit of a trick.
I say it's from 1994.
No. 1-0 to Adam Kennedy. Foul back. You won the batting title in '94. Have you ever, I know we talked about this a couple of years, have you ever found the silver bat that you get?
I saw it the other day.
Yeah.
When Mama sent me down to vacuum a little bit. I saw it. The vacuum bumped up against it over by the couch. You know, one of the coolest, in Flash, you weren't there, so you didn't hear this. In Cincinnati, we had that trivia question, and I don't know how it started, but it was somebody that got into and then wore number 7 their whole career. How'd that go, Mike? Do you remember? And it was kind of a trick question.
Popped up. Gardner's there. Oh.
That was a baseball draft choice by the Yankees, and then ended. He wore number 7 his whole career, and I'm thinking, you know, as you look at Mickey Mantle,
It's John Elway.
It's John Elway. Pretty cool, huh? I like that one though. That one stuck with me.
Here's Mike Carp. What really sticks with me, John, I wonder if it also resonated with you, that Paul O'Neill, the Warrior, is sent down to vacuum in the basement. That's what sticks with me.
You know what? You throw your headphones on, you get her done. And you move on. You know, I told my neighbor one time, they said, "You were what?" I said, "I was vacuum." I said, "Yeah, I used to hit third for the Yankees. Now I vacuum." It's just the way it is, you know? It's just the way it is.
Would you say you're a good vacuumer?
I'm a quick one.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can get is your wife to come down and check to see if all the fibers are going the right way or something, because you know you skip around. You know, you got to get it done.
Here's the 1-2. Foul back.
Michael, you're just getting into this point of your life where
Jody's going to be giving you tasks, and you'll just do them. You never have pictured in your wildest dreams that you would do these.
So how long have you been married?
A long time, 1984.
So that's 27 years.
Will be at the end of this year.
There's a base hit to right center field. Nick Swisher cuts it off and gets the ball in quickly, holding Carp to a single. Carp is now 2 for 2. I think it would be very unfair of Jody to ask a 77-year-old man to vacuum.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, that was all behind the plan to get married at 50. So here is Franklin Gutierrez with a runner on first and 1 man out. In this 17-game losing streak, the Mariners' all-star closer Brandon Lee has pitched twice.
It's a guy that was mentioned in a lot of trades also. So, I mean, it's not like he's been out on the mound where guys can really assess how he's been throwing the ball.
And you see a lot of scouts mingling around at Yankee Stadium. Sure want to get a look at him. Tough job for Eric Wedge, the manager, finding those opportunities.
Jorge playing some first base today as Mark Teixeira is the DH. The 0-1. It's high, 1-1. John, what do you think of you so far?
I mean, I like his stuff today. I think the curveball's a little better. We've mentioned the fastball. He has some life on it. I mean, 4 hits, 1 run. I think more importantly, we're used to seeing him last year at the beginning of the year really dotting the outside corner, and now some balls get away from him, run back to the middle of the plate.
I think that, and Michael, I think you talked about it the other day. You think that you don't feel like you're throwing as hard, so you try to reach back and get a little extra. You start missing that pinpoint control. And this inning, if you look what's happened, his fastball has dropped.
Yep.
And is he not going to be able to carry that 93-94 from the first inning all the way through the game?
Well, how about last night? I mean, Seattle Mariners have a right-hander, Doug Fister, who threw a very, very credible ball game last night. And if you looked at his stuff compared to Phil Hughes, well, he was throwing upper 80s, a nice curveball, and a good little cutter. And Phil has the same type pitches. I think early on he was really trying to establish his fastball.
Runner goes, ball fouled back.
But there's a pitch right there that probably missed by 2 or 2.5 feet.
Yeah, you saw Phil Hughes. I mean, it's a foul ball, but you see the reaction. I mean, that ball really missed
by full plate.
Yeah, full plate and got up.
Yep.
All right, Rothschild has been working with Hughes. Hughes went on the DL to try to regain some of the velocity. There's nothing wrong with his arm, according to all the tests that they've done. But today he does look like he has a little bit more lively stuff. 2-2. 3-2.
Look at Larry Rothschild and Joe Girardi on the bench, and what a different day from last night, where you got CC Sabathia on the hill, and it's just like you're on automatic pilot. The only decisions you really had to make were the rain delays. And today, you're studying his delivery. You're seeing the movement, the velocity. There's so many things going on in your head from those two guys today.
Ground ball to second. Nice play by Cano, and he turns it into a double play. That was not an easy play by Robinson Cano with the runner going, but he turns it into a double play. No runs a hit, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Seattle. Hernandez won the 2010 AL Cy Young Award with 13 wins. Which Yankee pitcher also had 13 wins when he won the award? The only one I could think of is Sparky Lyle, the reliever who won it. 1977. What a year Sparky had.
13 wins out of the pen.
Yes, he did. But that's when relievers pitched 3 1/3 innings, and it wasn't always just one out or one inning. And it also led to one of the great lines in Yankee history, because after Sparky won the Cy Young Award, the Yankees went out and they signed Bruce Gossage to a big money contract. And Greg Nettle said, the first guy to ever go from Cy Young to Sayonara. And Sparky was not with the Yankees that much longer. 1-1 to Granderson. There's a strike. Popped up. Shallow center. Gutierrez is there to the first out. The Wednesday game of the week is brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com.
That bullpen starter thing and kind of brought together as, you know, the Cy Young is kind of a weird thing, because, you know, starters are out there for the longer duration, but obviously closers can. Didn't Hernandez for Detroit, didn't he win the MVP and the Cy Young?
Yeah, Willie
out of
Hernandez.
the bullpen. Wow, that's impressive. Yeah, red flag.
And writers usually don't like to give pitchers the MVP because they feel that you have your own award with the Cy Young, but it's open for anybody to win. As Teixeira fouls it away. A lot of people thought that in '78, Guidry should have won the MVP with a 25-3 record. Yeah. I think that year Jim Rice got it, and Guidry won the Cy Young. Driven deep to right field. Ichiro is there, though, and he'll put it away for the second out.
Just got in just a little bit. The swing was there. Everything was there, but the stuff just made it get off the label enough. See, the ball floated back over, but it just did not catch the bat square. Mark Teixeira knew immediately.
You know what Hernandez is doing a little better job of? He's throwing his curveball a little bit more today than I was told he was going to. Usually it's fastball changeup. And you wonder if just showing that pitch a little bit more was able to beat Mark Teixeira with the fastball.
I don't know. His fastball, and we talked about it, I mean, he's at 92, 93. There's 94. I mean, in the past, I think he was 95 and above at times. So, you know, he might have to go. It's time of the year. He might be going through the dead arm thing or whatever. I mean, he has pitched a lot of innings in the past few years.
Count 2-0 to Cano. Cano grounded back to the up to the mound in the first inning. Well, actually, he rolled it up the first baseline. It was fielded by Hernandez. You wonder, a guy who's a power pitcher, he's been pitching in the big league since he was 19 years old. How long can you generate that sort of velocity? And he's 25. Maybe you just become a different pitcher as time moves along. Very few have kept their fastball like that forever. Base hit by Cano. Serves it into left field. Bobbled out there by Carp. And Cano's going for second. The throw is wide. So that'll be a single and an E7. And Cano's in scoring position.
Good job by Robbie Cano. I mean, you hit the ball. Always keep the ball in your eye. What happens? And you see the Carp gets kind of backs up on it. I mean, doesn't play it well. And if you put your head down and assume it's a single, you don't get that break around first. He easily cruises into second. You see Robbie watches the play.
Can't help but thinking back to the first game in the series where Seattle made a few mistakes out in the field. The Yankees really made them pay. I think it was in the fourth inning of the first game. Here an opportunity with 2 outs.
And the pitch to Swisher is a strike. So Cano's hit the second hit for the Yankees. Swisher's was the first. He singled in the second and then was erased up a 5-4-3 double play. Grounded to second base. Ackley is there, and that's going to do it here in the fourth. No runs a hit, 1 error, and 1 man left. We played 4. It's 1-0 Mariners. One nothing. Mariners over the Yankees on the Kia scoreboard. So Bob will jump in if that no-hitter is complete or if he does give up a hit. So keep it right here for that. As Cust fouls it back to start off the fifth. Know his birthday it is today? Alex Rodriguez. 36 years old, so happy birthday to Alex, who I'm sure is watching in Miami as he's working out. We also dug up some stats on Alex. I'm sure he'll like to hear these. Alex has the most home runs, 626, of any player in Major League history before turning 36 years old. The runner-up is Sammy Sosa at 574, so Alex has 52 more. His career total of runs scored, 1,810, is the second highest for any player of his age, trailing only Lou Gehrig. That one is lined into right field, a base hit. Gehrig had 1,888, so Alex 78 behind him. Alex's RBI total of 1,883 is the third highest before turning 36, behind Gehrig and Jimmy Fox. So happy birthday to Alex, and also happy birthday to a big-time listener of Yankee baseball, Dominic Camara. Now Alex is 36, Dominic's just 8. So happy birthday to Dominic.
How do you even do that? I mean, some things in baseball still just like, you have 600 and some home runs when you're 36 years old.
Listening to all those stats, you become numb to it. I didn't even pay attention because you okay, so he's really good.
Yeah.
But I'm a little disappointed Michael didn't have some stats for Dominic on his 8th birthday.
The 8th birthday, that's the big stat. That's really all you need is 8.
All-star games, anything like that?
Not that I've researched, no. So I just have a snapshot for Dominic Camara.
See, we get your themes. You blew mine. That I mean, just screwed it all up early in the game. Still haven't recovered.
No, it was John and I who messed it up. You did a great job. We just didn't get it. We were dense today.
The musical intellect is not at that level.
Line drive, a base hit to center field on the bat of Josh Bard, and Fulyu's in trouble now. First and second, nobody out. And Ichiro coming to the plate.
Well, this has been the first time that Phil Hughes is really in a mess. I mean, now you've got 2 runners on, no outs. Now you're going to have to make some good pitches. Ichiro had a good at bat last time up. Now you can really study how he's going to go about getting guys out in big situations. Flash, you're catching here. I mean, he's been fastball, curveball. What's his go-to pitch right now?
I think the cutter is going to start to be a factor.
Line past the diving Jeter into left field. And the bases are loaded, nobody out.
3 consecutive hits. So, you know, you really got to realize you just can't rely on one thing. You got to realize that, you know, your fastball from the first inning in the 5th inning is a bit different. So I think that you're going to have to make an adjustment to the way you go about getting guys out, especially in these big hitting opportunities.
Yeah, I thought that's why we might see a first pitch cutter there to make sure it really runs in on the hands of Ichiro.
I thought interesting thing, Freddie Garcia the other night in his post-game interview. See Ichiro, that ball ends up over the middle of the plate, just kind of runs. Good pitch for a left-hander to see. You just slap it to left field. But back to Freddie Garcia, he stated after the game, I didn't want to be that pitcher to stop their streak, meaning to lose to them. So I thought that was a pretty cool comment.
Bases loaded. Brendan Ryan at the plate. Swings at the first pitch and pops it up.
Big out.
Cano makes the play. And the runner stay put. Now he's a double play away from getting out of the jam.
Yeah, that's a big one. You love a pop-up, which you got, or a strikeout. Now you start getting greedy, saying, if I can make a big pitch here, possibility of a double play. That was a pretty good pitch to hit, too, and Ryan just missed it.
Tougher outs in the lineup right now. Ackley, I mean, Dustin Ackley's been swinging the bat pretty well today. Drove one to the wall last time up.
There's a strike. Good pitch on the inside corner. Costa's at third. Bard's at second. Suzuki is at first. The 0-1. Missed outside.
This is the guy Eric Wedge wants up at the plate right now. 2 at bats, hit 2 balls hard.
Line drive, right field, a base hit. 1 run scores. And the second run does not score. Josh Bard gunned down at the plate by Brett Gardner to keep it at 2-0 Mariners. What a throw by Gardner.
Big play. It also gets Hughes an out. Gardner, you know why he's so good? You see how he rounds around this ball, sets his body so he can throw a straight throw. There's no tail to it.
A little confusion coming around third base, too, from Josh Bard and Jeff Datz, the third base coach. It looked like Bard held up a little bit, and that might have been the difference. And Russell Martin was able to get back and apply the tag.
Guys aren't used to running the base and scoring anymore, Flash.
See, Bard holds up, a little hesitation, and then goes.
Ichiro goes to third to throw, not in time. Dropped by Nunez.
Pay attention to Bard coming around. He stutter steps a little bit, slows down, and then tries to speed up again. And I know what it's like being a backup catcher trying to speed up again. It doesn't happen, Paul.
You missed gears? You telling me?
Could have been the difference of a run there.
So a stolen base for Ichiro. The second one of the game. The 0-1. Hump back, 1-hop line drive to Jeter, who steps on the bag, and that will do it. All things considered, Hughes just allows a 1 run on 4 hits, and 2 men are left. We're halfway through. Mariners up by 2. And there you have it. 9 innings. Gave up 1 run on an error. 1 walk, 10 strikeouts. 9th no-hitter in Angels history. Yankees down 2-0 as Russell Martin leads off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Kia scoreboard 2-8-1 and 0-2-0. With the trade deadline approaching on Sunday, an 8-player deal between the Blue Jays and the Cardinals. Colby Rasmus, Trevor Miller, Brian Talent, and P.J. Walters go to Toronto as that one is drilled to right field. Going back, Ichiro. He's going to turn and play it off the wall. And Russell Martin will stay there with a single. Nice play by Ichiro off the wall.
Russell Martin does a nice job driving this ball to right field, but I guess this is the one part of Ichiro's game that has not changed. Always has a strong throwing arm. On the line in the second base to hold Martin to a single.
One leaves a dent in the wall. What an arm Ichiro has. And Martin knew it.
Yeah, it's all about getting in position to make a solid throw. And if you look at Ichiro, before the ball came off, he had already started to get his feet planted where he could turn and make a strong throw to second.
Here's Posada. Let me give you the players the Cardinals got from Toronto. Edwin Jackson. Remember, the Blue Jays had gotten him earlier from the White Sox in a trade. Edwin Jackson, Martin Zipchinski, Octavio Dotel, and Corey Patterson. Seemed as if Colby Rasmus fell into disfavor with Tony La Russa, so they end up trading him.
Cardinals picking up thing has got to put some sort of pressure on the Cincinnati Reds, the Milwaukee Brewers, Pittsburgh Pirates. It's kind of a 4-team race in that division.
Pirates lost a heartbreaking game last night in extra innings to the Braves on a bad call at home plate. That one is dribbled to first. It's a fair ball. They'll tag Posada moving to second as Martin.
Michael, you talk about Irving Santana and his no-hitter by giving up a run. If you're interested in how that happened, Ezekiel Carrera reached on an air to start off the first inning and ended up scoring. Moved over, stolen base, ended up scoring on a wild pitch. And you end up throwing a no-hit.
But not a shutout.
No.
We talked about this last night when CeCe was flirting with a perfect game and whether or not it would count if the game was called after 5 innings because of rain. They've changed the rules a lot, but anyway, the Yankees actually had a no-hitter pitch for them, and they lost the game. Andy Hawkins at the old Comiskey Park. Jim Leyritz was playing left field and lost the ball in the sun. And then there were 3 errors in that inning. A couple of runs scored, and Andy Hawkins lost the game. But it's not considered a no-hitter because he only pitched eight innings. He didn't have to pitch at bottom of the ninth. Count 1-1 on Nunez. Hernandez gonna have a talk with Bart. His pitch count's in good shape. 65 pitches. We're in the 5th inning. I talked about that Pittsburgh Atlanta game. Check this play out. They're talking about it all over baseball. This ended the game. He was out. He was clearly out, and they called him safe. Julio Lugo scored. Grounder up the middle. Nice play by Ryan, off balance throw. Oh. What a play by Ryan! But the buck throw pulls smoke off the bag. So Nunez is safe at first, and moving to third is Martin. And here comes Eric Wedge. He's going to talk things over with Brian Knight, the first base umpire.
Yeah, there's been a couple of calls that have gone against the Mariners in this series. I'm sure Eric Wedge probably remembering them from the first game.
I'll be thinking, can I catch a break anytime? I mean, what a play here. Gets rid of the ball. Accurate, somewhat. That was close. I don't know about that one. Looks like his foot's against, his foot's against the base.
He's out.
He's out.
What a play. You're talking about Nunez, too, a guy who can really run. And that's not a catcher running down the line.
Well, he's right there and could see the separation between foot and bag. Much clearer than any camera can, I would assume, but you know, just a short argument, nothing outrageous.
Great play by Brendan Ryan. I mean, going up the middle,
saving a run too.
And the Yankees are set up now, 1st and 3rd with 1 man out, the speedy Gardner at the plate. Do they send Nunez? Pitch in the dirt, blocked by Bart.
That's your first job as an infield. Knock that ball down, then all of a sudden you make an acrobatic little pirouette and a throw.
Runner goes. Throw to second is not in time. Stolen base for Nunez.
Be interesting for me to watch King Felix go at this now. I mean, because he's been throwing 91, 92, popping it up to 94 once in a while. Now you're in a position where runners, tying runners in scoring position, where a strikeout you could try to save a run if he has kept something back to try to get out of these tough innings.
Now Gardner has bunted a lot in the last couple of weeks. Drag bunt here, you get a run and you get a base hit. And if he gets it down on the ground, worst thing is you're going to at least get a run. We'll see if that enters into play, but he has a 2-0 count.
You know, the way he's been swinging the bat lately, it's been a little bit better. He's thinking base hit, and we have a tie ball game here.
Count 3-0, first base is open. Jeter is on deck. .357 since April 30th with runners in scoring position. And he ends up walking Gardner. Gardner was waiting. He thought that was strike 1. So he walks for the 2nd time.
The ball's clearly a ball, but you know, every once in a while as a hitter, you know, that 3-0 pitch, usually that plate gets a little bit bigger. This ball is pretty close.
I always look at the hitter's reaction, or even the runner in that Atlanta game last night, Lugo. He thought he was out at all plate, and then the call was changed. You could see there was a little excitement. Brett Gardner told me he thought that was a strike.
Here's one more look at that play. Take a couple of looks, obviously. He was out.
Lugo thought he was out.
And the Pirates, who are playing such gutty, gritty baseball, will lose a game like that. Clint Hurdle was not thrilled, and here's why.
I mean, you can't even explain. You can't even explain it. Lugo doesn't get his foot to home plate until after the fact.
Well, Carl Willis went out and talked with Felix Hernandez. So here we are with Jeter at the plate. Jeter, a .325 hitter, lifetime with the bases loaded. He's 0 for 2 today against Felix Hernandez. Martin's at third, Nunez at second, Gardner at first. Swing and a miss.
And if you're Derek Jeter, you're thinking get the ball in the air, and if you're Hernandez and Bard behind the plate, you're thinking two-seamer in for a ground ball or changeup, maybe down and away. Possibility of a ground ball.
And Derek, the last few games, has really been peppering the ball to right field. I think you have to try to stay in on him this at bat.
Moves away with that pitch and the count 1-1. That one grand slam he has, but good numbers with the bases loaded. One pitch. Lofted to center field. That's going to get in a run. Gutierrez makes the catch. Tagging is Martin. He'll score easily. Moving to third is Nunez. A sac fly for Jeter. And the Yankees are on the board. They trail 2-1. That's the first run that Hernandez has allowed here in any start at Yankee Stadium, the new Yankee Stadium.
Like a ball took something off speed. Derek was out in front. To me, I mean, after that first pitch where he threw down and in at 94, I think you've got to stay with that. Gave Derek an opportunity, even though he was full, to extend his arms and drive the ball out to the outfield.
I was actually thinking that was an easy pitch to hook to shortstop right there if you don't have the right approach.
Count 1-0. That broke a string of 21 1/3 innings pitched here at the new Yankee Stadium without allowing a run for King Felix. Gardner goes, throw to second, not in time. Nunez strays far off, the throw to third, not in time. So a stolen base for Gardner, his 18th straight without being caught.
Actually surprised Bard threw this ball. Brett Gardner gets a pretty good jump and good speed, and Nunez at third base. No play at second. Good job by Nunez getting back.
One. 1 and 2.
How many in a row was that, Michael? You said
18 straight.
It's amazing how a year changes. I remember back, it wasn't too long ago, Brett Gardner wouldn't even run. Right? He was almost a little gun shy. Now he's got that confidence back.
That was earlier this year. I mean, it was almost you're trying to force him to run. Even if you get thrown out, and all of a sudden, bam, you get a couple. And
count 2-2. Granderson, a better hitter in day games, 315 this year in day games, 240 in night games. He's at 265 overall. 2-2. Grounded foul. 2-2, way outside.
You've seen Granderson, you've seen King Felix going at him here, and here he is with 28 home runs and a lot of lineups. First base open, you just put 4 fingers up and walk this guy, but to share behind him with his ability to drive in runs. See, now you're going to try to make a perfect pitch with 3-2, but early in the count, going right after him.
See Cano attack Kevin Long there, a little tweak to the head. Here's the 3-2. He strikes him out on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. But the Yankees get a run on 2 hits and 2 men left. A gorgeous day at Yankee Stadium. 5 in the books, and the Mariners lead 2-1.
Once again, the question, which of these American League right-handers has the nastiest stuff? And here's how you voted. Justin Verlander's. I like that 100-mile-an-hour fastball, too.
Well, we go to the 6th inning, and Adam Kennedy takes outside 1-0. So the Yankees are on the board. They're trailing 2-1 to the Mariners and King Felix. Grounded foul. I've wondered of late, I think that we throw out royalty very easily in the society now. We got King James and we got King Felix, but neither one of them have won a championship. How do you get a kingdom unless you've won a championship? Just a thought. I mean, at least LeBron has an MVP and King Felix has Cy Young. That one is grounded inside first base. It's a base hit. Nick Swisher comes up throwing. And a double for Adam Kennedy. Congratulations to Derek Jeter on becoming the newest member of the 3,000 Hit Club. Become a Yankees Universe rookie member and receive a limited edition Derek Jeter bobblehead. Members also receive the other items offered in the rookie package, including a Yankees Universe t-shirt, a customized membership card. Join Yankees Universe today by calling 800-GO-YANKS or by visiting Yankees.com/universe. So runner at second, nobody out. Here is Mike Carp. Earlier we wished Alex Rodriguez a happy 36th birthday. We also should wish his brother Joe a happy 47th birthday. 11 years different, born on the same day.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
11 years different, same day.
It's Joe Rob. Not A-Rod, it's Joe Rod. Right there.
J-Rod. Corey Wade warming up. The 1-1. Fouled away.
Again, you look at that pitch, Flash. I mean, that's a hanger. That ball right there to a good hitter is in the seats. And those are the pitches that are dangerous. I mean, that's just a hanging breaking ball. Once in a while against teams like the Seattle Mariners, you'll get away with pitches like that. But, you know, you start throwing pitches like that against good hitting lineups, you're looking for the umpire for a new baseball.
1-2. 2-2.
Yeah, I watched Phil Hughes through this game where we had nobody out here in the 6th inning, and it's pretty much been fastball, curveball, and he does have a cutter and he does have a changeup. But if you're a hitter, Paul, pretty much eliminate those pitches. You don't see enough of them where it's really a thought in your mind.
Yeah, I'm definitely, as a left-handed hitter, looking out all over the plate. It doesn't seem like even when he's trying to go in, the ball's kind of tailing back out over the middle of the plate. Early in the game, first couple innings, he had kind of a sharp breaking ball and a little pop on the fastball, and all of a sudden it seems like that ball's starting to run out over the plate, and the curveball is kind of rolling instead of that sharp break. Don't even know that he knows the answers. Why, you know, if it's arm strength or if it becomes mechanics or what's going on.
The 2-2.
Pitch there.
Ooh.
Count 3-2.
When you're struggling trying to put guys away, you don't get swings and misses, and then there's a borderline strike and you don't get the call. Frustrating for Phil Hughes.
Fly ball left field. Gardner will make the play as Kennedy played it halfway. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Mike, I'm starting to understand you. I asked you about that, and you said you read that in your sleep. I've been here a while. I'm starting to hear that in my sleep myself.
You want to try it on Friday?
Oh, I got it. You know what? Let's do it Saturday, the second game. You won't even be here.
I think Kenny will want to do it.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
So you might see us brawl up here over there.
That'd be great. We got the booth camera up here. It'll be great. We'll catch it, put on tape, right out on YouTube. Here's Gutierrez. Foul back. You know you're working with a big-time guy, John? Paul O'Neill gets a text from Alex Rodriguez. Thanks for the birthday wishes. Not us. Neither one of us. I'm done with A-Rod.
Well, you know what? You can scroll through this.
Right.
You're not going to find A-Rod's number on there. I can guarantee you that.
On yours?
On mine.
On me, too.
I'm surprised at that.
Yeah, he only has razor phones.
I'm one of the
right.
I'm one of the unwashed masses. Think A-Rod would drop me a line? How you doing? You know, I know I'm coming back from surgery, but I'm feeling okay. You know, give me updates for the radio show. Nothing. But Paul O'Neill just gets a nice little text. Right. Kim, you get anything from A-Rod? No, he's not texting Kim either. All right, Alex. We don't forget. You come back, you better go 20 for 20.
With large numbers.
That's right.
One thing, though, when he does come back, Granderson, Teixeira, some of the guys in the lineup will be opening the car door for him. But, boy, what a fun thing to do to have a guy like that hitting behind you, huh?
That one's in the dirt. Count 1-2. Gutierrez has walked and wrapped into a 4-4-3 double play.
You know, talking about the third base situation, I mean, Joe talked about with Chavez getting him back in the game last night. I mean, what's the plan there? I mean, Eric Chavez a couple days a week, Nunez for the rest of the time.
I think they're going to split time. I don't think he wants to push Chavez to the point where he can suffer an injury. This was an automatic day game after night game. I'd say if there are 7 games in a week without an off day, I think that Chavez would play 4 and Nunez would play 3. I think that's the way they'll play it.
Tell you what, just coming off last night, I mean, he came up with a big hit. Defensively, he did well. One ball that came to him late in the game obviously could have been a double play, but it was wet. It's amazing that he's kept his skills over the years, as many games as he's missed.
Pitch inside. Veteran Kennedy at second base. And Martin has to be careful that Kennedy's not picking up signs. 3-2. High fly ball. Shallow right center. And coming on is Swisher for the second out.
Were you one of those catchers, Flash, and I don't remember, that thought everybody that ever stepped their foot on second base was trying to pick up signs?
Well, you definitely paid attention, but I just laughed right there because right when the signs are done, Kennedy looks to the side, and right away as a catcher, he's got something.
Yeah.
He's tipping off the hitter on something. I think all catchers are paranoid about that.
That is, because I remember going to second base, and even if, you're given so many signs, I couldn't figure out what you were given anyway. So even if I was studying it, that wasn't part of my game. I know some people do it, but I think catchers and pitchers worry about it more than it's done out there.
Yeah, and I think about all the teams I was on, all the teammates I had. I never heard about a couple of guys saying, hey, when I get at second base, I'll give you location.
Yeah.
Unless they kept it to themselves.
Swing and a miss.
I remember trying that one time, and Michael, I think I told you this. See this breaking ball, still was kind of just rolling up there, but swung through. We're in Cincinnati. Barry Larkin takes Dwight Gooden in his day as the Mets. He was power pitcher back then. Change up, takes him deep, hits left center field, comes back. He's like, I know his changeup. I know his changeup. He's doing this. He's doing this. And all right, I'll look for it. I go up there. Well, he does what Barry said he does. Here comes the changeup, about 98, right at my neck. It's the last time I tried to pick up pitches from somebody before me.
So Hughes is at 100 pitches here with 2 outs in the 6th inning.
I was just thinking, Michael, this will be a nice outing for Phil here as far as confidence goes if he can get out of this. 2 runs through 6 innings. Pitch count are going to be over 100.
One, two, swing and a miss, got him. Off speed pitch, so the leadoff double is wasted. No runs ahead. 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-1 Seattle. 9-1 Seattle, 1-4-0 for the Yankees. Ackley an RBI, 2 RBIs and a triple. Ichiro has 2 singles, a run scored, and 2 stolen bases. Phil Hughes has gone 6 innings, 3 strikeouts, a walk, 101 pitches, allowed 2 runs on 9 hits. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Mark Teixeira leads off against Felix Hernandez.
You know, Michael, who probably enjoyed that game summary, Joe Facina, who's a mainstay in the Yankee clubhouse, takes care of all the uniforms, the alterations. Had a little minor heart surgery. So he's on the DL for a few weeks. Get back soon. Yeah, get back soon.
Joe's a good guy. The 2-0. Fouled away. Nice moment between innings. The Yankees scoreboard crew and Mike Bonner. They played Chris Chambliss' home run off Mark Littell in Game 5 of the 1976 American League Championship Series against the Royals. That sent the Yankees to the World Series. And then they showed Chris Chambliss, who's now the batting coach for Seattle, on the big board. He got a nice hand from the crowd. One of the great moments in Yankee history.
Had a determined look on his face on to get back to that dugout after that home run.
I don't know what do you enjoy more, the home run or him bowling people over getting in the dugout?
Here it is. What a moment.
How about the setup, Paul? Just from a standstill? That's strong man there.
Stands, ball up. Here they come. That's when it makes. Here we go. Now the action starts. Oh!
3-2. Popped up. Kennedy shading his eyes. Will make the play. And there's Chris. Really a gentleman. Very nice man. Yankees got him from the Indians in '74. The year the Yankees went to the World Series, he was an all-star. And the home run off Mark Littell. That's when it was kind of new. The Yankees hadn't been to the World Series since 1964, so that home run brought them back there, but they lost to the Cincinnati Reds in 4 straight. As Cano grounds one softly to first.
You can almost
to Hernandez
look at that conversation that he's having, and by his hands motion, talking about, you know, how the people were just on top of you, and it's weird how I was watching him talk, and it's almost talking about the old stadium. I guarantee it, and the right center field, and how the people came up. You know, in the old stadium, the people, when you were playing, like, were right on top of you, and that's the big difference in the new stadium, is how big it is. I mean, there's some things you'll never forget in your life, and I guarantee that's on the top of the list for Chris Chambliss.
Did you have him as a hitting instructor?
Yeah, he was here, and he ended up going to Cincinnati after that for a while.
So Reggie, during batting practice today, and Paul and I were talking, we were watching the Yankeeography on Reggie Jackson the other day. Not together, separate places.
It's because Michael didn't show up. Or I guess it was I didn't show up to the terrace that night, right?
But it was 1977 after the Yankees clinched the World Series win against the Dodgers, and they showed Reggie coming out the field, and I mean, just blasted people.
It's funny.
It was classic.
Chris Chambliss looked like he was almost embarrassed when he mowed somebody over, and it looked like Reggie was almost like headhunting by the time he got to the dugout.
There's a walk to Swisher. And what that Yankeeography reminded me of, and I didn't realize it, that Reggie actually hit a home run in his last at bat of Game 5 in L.A. And then he hits the 3
4 in a row,
yeah.
right? I'll tell you one thing: if you're Chris, you're the manager here. You're thinking, and you're looking at the pitch count. You know, he's up to 91 now, so you know it's going to be tough for him to get probably past the 8th inning. And you know, with a 1-run lead, I don't know how much you trust anybody, but you're your #1 starter out there.
Well, we already said the closer's well rested, right? He's only pitched a few times during the streak.
That to me is confusing, because if you think about it, if Mariano doesn't pitch for 3 or 4 days, he'll come in and get an inning's work just to stay sharp. Would you say twice in the 17 days?
One of the great sights in any kind of day game here at the stadium is the pockets of kids all in the same T-shirts, camps, and stuff like that come out to the ballpark. Right field, upper deck, all orange with M's on them. With some blues. And then you see around the ballpark stragglers that broke off from the group.
Snuck away from the chaperone.
Can you imagine if you're the chaperone of the group that's up in right field? I mean, there's about 200 kids there. They're all together. The 2-1. Breaking ball strike. Brandon League, by the way, you can add another game he did pitch in the All-Star game.
It's funny, you see those summer camps, and that's a big thing up in here in New York, the summer camps. And my kids, when I was playing, went to the summer camps. And, you know, the kids would say, we're going to a Yankee game this day that's a big summer camp. My kids are like, can't we go to an amusement park or something? We want to do something a little different. Huge day for some of the kids to get out to Yankee Stadium.
They're going to release Swisher at first. 3-2 on Martin. This will be the 97th pitch for Hernandez. Runner goes. Deep drive, left field, but it is hooking. Foul. So they'll do it again. Runner goes again. Fastball swung on and missed, and that'll do it for the Yankees here in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. We've played 6 here at the stadium. Mariners lead the Yankees 2-1 on Yes. Brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Well, that's going to do it for Phil Hughes as Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen. Brought to you by AT&T. So Phil Hughes goes 6 innings and allows those 2 runs, and he turns it over to Corey Wade. Wade's done a good job in 13 games, 1.29 ERA, 10 hits, and 4 walks in 14 innings, a whip of 1 with 11 strikeouts. And it'll start with Josh Bard, 9-1-2. And Wade deals. There's a strike. All right, let's put a bow on Phil Hughes. How did he pitch? He gave up 2 runs. You see the Cadillac scoreboard. Yankees trailed 2-1. But did he pitch that well?
We'll break this down. I'll take the first 2 innings, Flash.
Okay.
He had pretty good stuff. He had a decent fastball, a little better than last time, and a better breaking ball. Now you go from the 3rd inning on.
I think velocity dropped a little bit, but I think more importantly, location and command got worse. You know, there's room for improvement, obviously, but I think 2 runs through 6 innings, Phil will take that and build on top of it.
There's a ground ball to second, and Bard is out for the first out.
But I don't, you know, and I mentioned it before, I don't know if you guys agree, but he's turned into a 2-pitch pitcher. You know, and I'd like to see a little more of the cutter changeup to at least give a hitter 4 pitches that you have to think about.
Oh, I know. One thing as a hitter, especially if you don't have your best curveball, and all of a sudden you just have to look for a mediocre curveball and a fastball, very easy to hit. And I think that was the strong point of Pfister last night.
Yeah.
He has 4 pitches, and you know he throws them for strikes. None of them overpowering, but throws them all for strikes and all counts. Confuses you as a hitter. You don't know what to look for.
Here's Ichiro with 2 hits today and a run scored. He's down in count 0-1. With his 2 hits today, this is an incredible stat. Because this is one of, I don't think we're going out on a limb and saying this is one of the greatest hitters the game has ever seen. During the Mariners' 17-game losing streak, he's hitting .219, 16 for 73.
Last year, I would have said that's impossible.
Yeah, I know. And the last 2 at-bats were the best 2 swings he's taken the whole series, where he hits line drives to left field.
The 1-2. Driven into center field, but they had him played toward left center, and Granderson has to try to cut it off. He cuts it off before the wall, but Ichiro is there, so he has an Ichiro day going with 3 hits right now, 3 for 4.
Well, the one thing about Ichiro, he's always able to keep that bat head through the strike zone a long time. Looked like a changeup away, maybe off the end of the bat, but he's able to keep the bat through the zone. Drives it into right center for a double. Give yourself a chance on a lot of different pitches, a lot of different speeds if you could do that.
That's his 2nd extra base hit this month in 23 games.
All right, Michael, let me throw this one at you. Last night was our textbook question: will Ichiro get 3,000 hits? And I said before the season started, it was a given, yes. But, you know, possibly, is he 38 years old?
37.
37 years old. So what if it does not happen? He does not get 3,000 hits. Is he a Hall of Famer in the American?
Yes.
In the States? Yeah.
Ground ball up the middle. Cano, it's under his glove. Jeter's there. Throw to first, not in time. So Brendan Ryan picks up a sketchy base hit to extend his hitting streak to 11 straight. And Joe Girardi is going to go to the bullpen.
Well, everything about this play looked off with Robbie Cano going across the bag. Can't get the backhand, and Derek kind of flat-footed with the throw across the diamond. Not going to be in time. What happened there with Robbie? Ball stayed down underneath his glove.
And he is safe. So they're going to bring in Boone Logan to face Dustin Ackley. Runners on first and third. 1 man out. Yankees trail 2-1. Stay right here. Derek Jeter reached baseball immortality with his 3,000th career hit. The captain made history in grand fashion and will have a complete 5-for-5 game, including special coverage of his monumental milestone. Experience this instant Yankees classic tomorrow at 7, only on Yes.
Got a day off tomorrow, Mark. I don't know if I can sit home and watch it, although I'd like to because I didn't see it live.
I think you can.
You think?
It's, just take 3 hours out of the day off.
It's important 3 hours, though. That's like dinner time, isn't it? 7 o'clock?
A lot of people will be doing it.
Oh,
Boone Logan's here. And he's going to face Ackley, who's 2 for 3. So the Yankees want to hold it right here at 2-1. Might see on the right sleeve that patch that says Dave. That's for Dave Niehaus, the longtime broadcaster of the Mariners who passed away over the winter.
Kind of unexpectedly, right?
Yeah, my oh my was one of his catchphrases, and he was also the guy who gave Alex Rodriguez the name A-Rod. There's a strike. First guy who called him that.
Logan might not want to throw another strike here. Dustin Ackley leads the major leagues. 0-2 count, hit 440.
Right under the glove of Logan, and they don't get anybody. A run scores, and it's 3-1. That was a double play right back to the mound, but Logan couldn't glove it, and then Jeter couldn't handle it. So that's a big run scoring against the Yankees.
Again, another ground ball that just didn't look right. Back up the middle. Logan can't come up with it. Robinson Cano tries to flip it to Derek. He's not really expecting it.
Yeah, I think Robbie, he's moving to his right. He can't step into the bag and try to turn it himself. He's got to get rid of it quick. And you're right. Ball's down. I don't think Derek knew it was coming.
I was wondering if Derek thought maybe he was just going to continue to the bag, take it himself, throw across his body.
Yeah, I think he was behind the bag, heading towards left field, where you really can't stop, plant, get back to the bag, and then make a throw. It's an in-between ball.
So they're going to give an E4 to Robbie there. Now, if I heard correctly, over the PA, they don't give him an RBI. He has to get an RBI. You can't assume the double play. Gets an RBI? Okay.
Well, Paul, getting back to Ackley and that stat that you just threw out there, 0-2, a batting average of 440.
Yeah, and it's not like it's 5 or 6 at bats. 11 for 25, 0-2.
That's a pretty good trait to have as a young hitter. A lot of times you hear scouts say, you know what, he's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. He'll let the count get deep. Doesn't go up there swinging early, trying to hunt fastballs.
Is that what you do when you swing early? You hunt fastballs?
That's what I made a living on it.
I like that high-hanging changeup. That's the one I like. No action in the Mariners bullpen. I think with the lead, you just have to stay with your horse. And Felix has been 120, 130 pitches at times this year, so he's not afraid to leave him in there.
John Heyman of SI.com is reporting that the Mets have made a trade with the San Francisco Giants, sending Carlos Beltran to the Giants. And Beltran has 24 hours to accept, because Beltran has a blanket no trade clause. He doesn't have to go anywhere. But his incentive is to go to a team that has a chance to win a World Series, and that could be the Giants. They're the defending champs right now. And they're in first place in the West as we speak.
It made sense for both sides for a long time. Right, a couple of weeks we've been hearing about that.
3-2. And a walk to Smoke, and that'll load the bases. Yankees are in danger of letting this game get away. Down 3-1 with the bases loaded, and Girardi's asking Larry Rothschild if they're ready in the bullpen. Actually, nobody's up in the bullpen, so he wants to get somebody up. That's going to bring up Adam Kennedy. Grounded foul.
Again, you see Seattle with men in scoring position, bases loaded, opportunities, and you've seen it in the last couple innings. The guys go up there, they just don't look comfortable in that situation. That's a good pitch to hit right there. Adam Kennedy kind of pulls it foul. Early in the count, when you're looking fastball, you got to put that ball in play. You can't ruin it and just foul it off, because then you set up for what you see there. They'll go to the breaking ball, try to make the perfect pitch.
Luis Ayala warming. One. 2-1.
See too many guys that aren't real successful with bases loaded. See Adam Kennedy, 235. Pitch by Boone Logan, going to a breaking ball there in the fastball count. See Adam Kennedy kind of leaves the zone real quick.
Swing and a miss. And Kennedy down on strikes for the second out.
It's got to be frustrating for Eric Wedge, because there's a couple veterans in this lineup that you hope are just going to rub off on your young kids. You expected bats like this with some of your young guys, but Adam Kennedy's been on winning teams, been around a long time, to having a bat like that with bases loaded.
High fly ball, center field. Granderson back, still back, and he can't make the play. That is going to clear the bases. A triple for Carp, and the Mariners lead 6-1.
If you're in that Seattle Mariners dugout, you have to think possibly the tide has turned. You've had a couple balls that not caught, not turned into double plays. This ball, Granderson looks like he had a little problem in the sun early. And as an outfielder, sometimes you don't pick it up, you don't get a good jump. Anderson's played a great center field so far this year, but looks like he had a little problems early in the play right here. As you look back, you don't see it. You lose a step. Ball keeps carrying. Nothing worse when you know there's bases loaded and you don't see the ball real well.
Now, if you're Boone Logan, you have to think, hey, I should have been out of this without giving up any runs. Instead, it's 6-1 and the Yankees go to the pen. Get us online at Verizon.com/getFios to get the best deals on Fios. Jeremy Guthrie will go for the Orioles, 4-14, 4.33 against A.J. Burnett for the Yankees, 8-8 with a 4.21. It all starts at 6 o'clock with the batting practice show. 6:30 is a pregame show. 7:07 first pitch right here on Yes. The beginning of a 4-game set against the O's. There's A.J. And that'll bring on Luis Ayala. Good numbers right there. The Yankees certainly have not executed this inning and might spell the end of the 17-game losing streak for the Mariners unless the Yankees can rally. 4 big runs here in the 7th inning. Hammered foul as Carp had a low bridge get out of the way.
Ball boy knocked it down out there, Michael. See it, didn't let him get it by. Weird angles over there by the target slash.
Fouled away.
Just thinking how huge those runs are for Seattle. I mean, they're going to be just in that dugout saying, all right, these last, 9 outs are not going to be easy to get, but they just got a little bit easier.
Look what has happened, and this was brought up. I was talking to Eric Wedge the other day. I mean, when this thing all kind of started and then snowballed, they started off, played Texas and Anaheim, both playing pretty well. Then they go to Boston, come to New York. I mean, they've played good teams, and when you're not playing well and you're playing good teams, it just snowballs. And I think they get on the plane today. If they can get a win, I think they actually go back home. You know, you might look in the paper a week from now and they might have won, 5 out of 8. And you just wonder how you ever went through that period.
They'll play Tampa Bay this weekend in Seattle. 2-2. Driven out to deep center field. Granderson on the run. Still going back. It's over his head and off the base of the wall. Carp will score. Gutierrez at second with an RBI double, and the Mariners lead 7-1.
The ball's carrying to center field. I mean, off the bat, I didn't think that Carp hit his that well. Right there, Gutierrez had jumped.
You've seen a couple balls ever since I showed up on Friday and the heat was up. I mean, a couple guys. Nick Swisher hit a ball that he thought was a sacrifice fly. It ended up being a 3-run homer. The balls have been carrying. The heat of the summer always does that here in Yankee Stadium.
Here's Jack Cuss, the 9th batter to come to the plate. Pitches outside. On the field, it's a little over 90. Supposed to be a very hot weekend again. Fouled away. Low.
Day off tomorrow, Mike? You doing your radio? Or are you taking the whole day off?
Nope, doing the radio show. The 2-1.
Need a hall pass? We'll write you something up.
I got to give you something to do. I can listen tomorrow. The 3-1. Strike, 3-2.
See what else goes down the next 3 days. It's like all the teams wait for the trades to start before they really get in the running. You saw the big trade earlier, and now the Beltran deal is official.
Strike 3. Cussed. Down looking, but 5 big runs for Seattle, and they lead 7-1 as we come up to the 7th inning stretch at the stadium. But we'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and offer a moment of silent prayer as we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
The Mariners are 9 outs away from snapping a 17-game losing streak as they lead 7-1 over the Yankees on the Cadillac scoreboard. Felix Hernandez has thrown 98 pitches. He's out there to face Posada, Nunez, and Gardner. Yankees took 2 out of 3 from Oakland. They've taken 2 of the first 3 against Seattle, and then Baltimore comes to town after that. That one is lined into left center field off the bat of Posada. It's going to be in there for a base hit. It'll go to the wall as Posada opens up the 7th with a double.
Jorge going up there looking for a fastball first pitch. He gets it. A nice piece of hitting running away from him. Stays on it. Here the Yankees make things a little bit interesting here. Try to get this pitch count up. See if you can get Hernandez out of the ball game and then get into a bullpen. And I'm sure is thinking about it out there. They're probably rooting for Hernandez more than anybody. Go out there and get at least 6 outs.
Here's Nunez. Fouls it back. And a nice catch by a guy right underneath our booth.
You're jumping up, Mikey. You got me nervous. I thought we were getting one.
I'm ready. You know, you were looking down. I wanted to protect you.
Now, did he jump up or did he jump to the side, Paul?
No, I actually moved toward it, didn't I, Paul?
Like I said, I was looking down.
Oh, that's just awful.
A nice play.
check this out, Paul. Check this out. This is in Seattle. Look at Flaherty. He almost knocks over Lorenz and then milks it.
Glass. You know, I would have been really impressed if you didn't have glasses on there. That's what ruined it for me right there. You had your bifocals on.
You know what? I feel terrible about what I did right there to Bob Lorenz. You see that?
Why? I didn't know. What'd you do? Push him out of the way?
I basically pushed him out of the way. He wasn't even a factor. I said, I'm going to get this.
Wasn't a factor.
I look back. I feel terrible. Sorry, Bob.
Watch this. Look, he's
You just pummeled him. Like Chris Shamlin was coming up the field there.
You know, Bob's also a former college baseball player. The guy can play.
Total disregard, and I apologize.
Pitch inside. 2-2.
Remember the commercial we did years ago over at the softball field?
Yes.
When Bob was beating up the water.
Yep.
He didn't get a hit on the softball game?
Yep. I do remember. That was a long time ago.
Who was he imitating?
What are you insinuating over there, partner?
Oh, right in on the hands.
There's nothing worse than that. It ends up being a strike because it hits your bat. All you're trying to do is get out of the way. I mean, you're attacking the ball, you're looking out of the way, and the ball just keeps on running.
Two. Grounded foul. Hernandez has averaged 106.3 pitches per start since 07. Fourth most in the big leagues after Verlander, Halladay, and Sabathia. His high pitch count this season, 128 against the Yankees, which was on May 28th, and that tied the highest pitch count of his career. Yankees get a couple of runners on. A team that's lost 17 straight, they're going to start thinking.
100% right.
We'll start rolling. Here we go again.
Manager starts thinking. The guys in the bullpen start. Was that phone going to ring for me or is that for somebody else? Negative thoughts.
Hernandez has pitched well, but he hasn't been electric today. We've seen him electric all the time against the Yankees. He has not been electric at all. Solid. Three-two. Swing and a miss. As Nunez down on strikes.
We talked about it, Paul. The fastball, it's not lighting up the radar gun today. 93 right there, but enough to get by Nunez, who actually had a pretty good battle. Again, I go back to it. He throws so many different pitches, a curveball, a changeup, a slider, and then you get a fastball, and it just has enough to get by you.
His 153rd strikeout. Creeping up on CeCe, who had 14 yesterday. Verlander leads with 169. Strike to Gardner.
Talk about a starting pitcher losing his velocity. When we talked about the umpire in the first inning, he's still letting it go back there.
Ground ball to second. Ackley is there. And that's two away as Posada advances to third. So that's going to bring up Derek Jeter. Derek has driven in the Yankees' only run on a sac fly in the fifth inning. Yankees had the bases loaded with one out. That was their chance right there. Derek got the sac fly, then Curtis Granderson struck out.
There's a strike. I can think back his, how much the rivalry of Seattle and New York there back in the late 90s, and how the crowds came, how loud they were. And even when they started losing that new ballpark, they still drew very well. I mean, what's going on out there now? Anybody? Yankee games, what are they drawing?
Grounded up the middle. And that'll do it. We'll answer Paul's question when we come back in the 8th inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We played 7 full at the stadium. 7-1 Seattle. Of the game, text your vote to 58772 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are Felix Hernandez, Mike Karp, Dustin Ackley, and Ichiro Suzuki. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Paul, in answer to your question, the Mariners average on the Hyundai scoreboard at 7-1 Mariners. Mariners average 23,342 per game, and they are 5 from the bottom in attendance in the American League. And that place used to be full all the time. New York Yankees lead the American League in attendance. 44,497 today. They drew 47,090. And Minnesota is second. Angels, Rangers, and then Red Sox. And the team with the highest average attendance in baseball is Philadelphia at 45,476.
You got to figure out of those 47,090 people here, about 17,000 of them are going to be in front of me on the way to the bridge tonight.
No, I think you're okay because some are leaving right now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, you got to throw in like 5 o'clock traffic too.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to make you feel better though. Of the 47,000, probably 5,000 or 6,000 of them are camp kids. So that's like 34 in a bus. It's not like everyone has a car.
I'm behind a couple buses.
Yeah, you'll be good. And you can listen to my radio show while you're in the car.
You're good to do that today?
Absolutely. On 1050 ESPN New York.
Go till 7?
From 3 to 7, yeah. You'll have company all the way in. The 1-2. Fouled away. You got big plans for tonight, Paul? Big dinner plans?
Tomorrow. You know, it was a big night last night during the rain delay. You tell everybody you officially met Frank and Mary.
It was exciting.
Yeah? It felt like you knew him for 20 years, didn't you?
Swing and a miss. And Bard down on strikes. We should have them on a Yankeeography. Everybody who watches the games.
I told it, Frank. No, that's not happening. That's not a good thing. I love Frankie, but I don't know if I could put him behind a mic.
Did you get a chance to meet him, John?
I did not.
Pretty exciting.
got a lot of time tonight, tomorrow night. A lot of things can happen in New York City.
Here's Ichiro. A lot of things have happened for him today. He's 3 for 4. And now he's 4 for 5.
A lot of things turning today. You never know. Ichiro might just turn it around. To your question on the poll on who the player of the game is, the Seattle Mariners win today, we might have to just give it to the whole team. They've been through 17 consecutive losses. Post up against that front leg, just drilling up the middle.
Second 4-hit game of the season. Only major leaguer to start off his career with 10 straight 200-hit seasons, and there's some question on whether or not that streak will continue here in his 11th season. Lined right at Posada. Marvin Ryan lines into a double play. No runs a hit, no errors, and because of the DP, nobody left on base. We played 7.5 here at the stadium. The Yankees are trailing this one 7-1. Curry are back in the studio with a recap of this series finale and the latest news from around baseball, including the no-hitter by the Angels' Irvin Santana. Plus, Joe Girardi's post-game thoughts and Kim Jones with the reaction from the clubhouse. It's all coming up after the final out only on Yes. New pitcher for the Mariners, it's Jeff Gray. 14 games for Jeff, 27 1/3, 28 hits, 8 walks, 14 strikeouts, sporting a 2.63 ERA. So Felix Hernandez, his day is done. And Gray will face Granderson, Teixeira, and Cano. Well, they had their best out there. Now they turn it over to the bullpen. The Hyundai scoreboard as he's up 7-1. Granderson 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Pitch outside, 1-0. Struck out looking in the first, fly ball to center in the fourth, swinging in the fifth. Fouled away the other way. The Grandy Man can. That's John Sterling's saying. But he usually sings it on the radio. The 1-1. Big news, Paul. While you were out of the booth, I am going over to Flaherty's house for a nice steak on the barbecue.
I heard he was having a team party.
selected members of the team.
You know what? Well, I can add about 35 to that party because I'm traveling big this time.
You get a chance to meet him yesterday. Bring him on over.
Fouled away.
I don't know if I have an exact number to tell you how many's coming if I end up over there.
I'm amazed, John. Paul travels more people than the Rolling Stones. No. I'm sure he's got somebody named Turtle in his entourage. The 1-2. Line drive. A base hit down the right field line. That's going to go into the corner. Granderson round first. He's going to go to second. And he picks up a double to start off the 8th inning against Gray.
If you're the Yankees, you're down by 6 with 6 outs to go in this ball game. Just want to get the Mariners to start thinking some bad thoughts about 17 games in a row. Is there any chance we can blow this late? Good start for Curtis Granderson.
Well, Smoke gave it a try. So he just couldn't get up high enough. Here's Mark Teixeira with Granderson leading off second. Teixeira's 0 for 2 with a walk. And there's a strike. Grounded to second. Ackley right there. And he makes the play. Moving to third is Granderson. So 1 down.
Thing to count out. You need 6 outs. Now you're down to 5. Tell you what, this is almost like you're doing the playoffs when you've lost 17 in a row. You start counting the amount of pitches out. Anything you can do to get through this game and hold a lead.
Cano takes a strike. Hunter Wendelstedt, the home plate umpire, has lost a little off his fastball since the beginning of the game as well.
Just commented. Last inning, all of a sudden, I think he's, you're right, he's lost a couple decimals. I think he's getting tired.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't even have a super long game. This is a fairly quick game. With the count 0-2 on Cano. If you just tuned in, Wendelstedt was in great voice the first couple of innings. The 0-2. Grounded up the middle, but they had him played perfectly. Ryan right there makes the out at first. The run scores. And the Yankees now trail 7-2. Sunday, it's the return of an all-new Yankees on Deck, presented by Blimpie. You could follow Curtis Granderson through spring training as he breaks down his stretching, throwing, and hitting routine, plus batting tips from hitting coach Kevin Long. It's a new Yankees on Deck, Sunday at noon, and it's only on Yes.
Now that's one show you don't do, right?
I do not do that one. That's lighter.
Couldn't work your way into that? Just pass that one on to your buddy Lighter?
I guess I'm not good with kids. I don't know. Here's Swisher. John Flaherty's also prominent in that show.
Really? Some behind-the-scenes tips, baseball tips.
Might have to watch. I've forgotten a lot over the years.
Tune in.
If you would stay down to spring training for more than the 4 hours of the meeting, you can get involved in that show.
You learn so much in that meeting. It's just like you've got no room for anything else.
Fouled away.
If you've noticed, I haven't even made it to the dinner afterwards. That's the best part of the day.
I know.
Just overwhelmed by the meeting. Just like the players, the eternal hope of the new year. Come out of that meeting just ready to bust the door down to this booth. Michael looks around, is like, oh, I gotta work with this guy again.
The 2-1. Grounded up the middle. Ackley backhands and get Swisher, and that will do it here in the 8th. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Let's take this to the 9th inning. It's 7-2 Seattle. (7-2). Let's take a look at the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
Well, that Coors Light Cold Hard Blast at top of the 3rd inning. Ackley rifles one to the gap in right center field. It's going to be triple and an RBI. So Akito has a pretty nice swing. It also has some wheels. Your Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
And just like that, he leads off the 9th inning.
It's amazing how that happens.
I'm going to put you on the spot right here. I was just in between innings. They had bloopers up on the scoreboard, which they do a lot. See another bullet by Ackley. This guy can hit.
He can hit.
And he hits line drives. They're not ground balls or fly balls. They're line drives. Nice level swing.
Well, I noticed too, even the balls he hits the other way has a little something extra. They're not floating line. That's sharp.
For Shambliss, you look at the hitting coach. Good guy to work with. And you see, you watch that swing, how level it is. It's going to give him a chance to hit the ball all over the field. Back to my point, I was watching all the bloopers between innings, and then, they show them all the time. Some of them are crazy plays. Looking back, most embarrassing play you had as a major leaguer.
Justin Smoak swings and misses.
In a spring training game as a member of the New York Yankees in Lakeland, I struck out and got hit by the pitch in my right elbow.
That's not good. We're picking the ball up that day.
Lefty throwing a nasty slider in and swung and missed, hit my right elbow. And Joe Torre actually came out to argue that it was a foul ball because it deflected off of my arm.
Good hack.
Had to put the head down and say, Skip, I appreciate it, but
that's bad.
It's bad. How about you?
See you on the board. Well, I mean, the kick. I mean, that was kind of a lockup with the brain there. I guess that would have to be. The kids enjoy that because it still makes the top dumbest plays of all time.
Hector Noesi, the new Yankee pitcher, 5th Yankee pitcher. Phil Hughes started, went 6 innings. Then it all fell apart for the Yankees in the 7th. But right now Hughes is the pitcher of record on the losing side. Fouled away. Oh, here it is.
See, they've got my badge stuff, Flash. They don't have yours. There you go, right on the money.
You hit the cutoff, man.
I remember watching the replay on that originally when I did it, and Johnny Bench was doing the game, and he said,
I have never seen that in a baseball game. I'm still rinsing my ears.
Pitch outside.
Who was your manager?
Pete Rose.
You had to explain that to him? Or
no, Pete didn't want any explanation. Just glad I wasn't in AAA the next day.
What was it, Paul? You just forgot how many outs there were?
No, there's 2 outs.
Right.
I know how I can still tell you the play. We're in extra innings. We were going through a time like the Seattle Mariners. We weren't playing well. Ball comes to me with 2 outs. Man on second base. It's wet. It's a do or die play. I didn't come up with it. I bobbled it 3 or 4 times, so I know I had no play. So I just kicked it. I thought the game was over. I didn't know that Steve Jeltz, who was the runner, had slipped and fell going around third base. All right, now right here I got to play. I got no play. Game's over. And then I look up and he had fallen and then got up. See, you'll never ever see that again. I was a kicker in high school. See where it comes back to help you?
So you're a left-footed kicker.
Yeah. And I was a straight-on guy like George Blanda with the square toe. Yeah.
Grounded to second. Cano will go to first as Ackley advances to second. Now what's the kicker on that? No pun intended. The first baseman was who?
Todd Benzinger.
And what did he say to you?
He said, because he's watching the runner, and I sit down and I'm like, I don't know what's going through my mind on the bench. And Benzinger, from me to you, Flash, says, we'd have had Dykstra, but he had nothing on the throw. And I looked over at him and I thought he was going to laugh like you are, and he wasn't. And I'm like, Benzie, I kicked the ball. I didn't even throw it. He didn't even know.
He was looking at the runner.
Yeah, didn't even know I kicked it.
Here's Adam Kennedy. High fly ball. Right center, drifting over is Granderson. And he lost it in the sun. He's had trouble out there with the sun. Ackley's rounding third. He's coming home, and he'll score. And it's 8-2 Seattle. One of those days for the Yankees.
And Granderson looked like he struggled on the play before going back, and this one you can tell just completely lost the ball. Bad feeling, not much you can do. And it's a sun field. It's a tough day. But you got to feel like the people in the Seattle dugout are starting to say, hey, things have changed. We've got a couple breaks today. We've made the most of it. Look at the scoreboard. We're up by 6 runs. This big monkey might be off our back.
Here's Mike Karp. 3 hits for him today. And now he has 4 hits. Kennedy will round third. He'll score. An RBI for Karp. It's now 9-2. And incidentally, Kennedy got a double on that. It was not an error on Granderson because he lost it in the sun. And Karp picks up his 4th hit. And another RBI, his 3rd.
Well, the Mariners kind of returning the favor. The first game of the series, they made some mistakes, and the Yankees made them pay. The Mariners doing the same here in the 9th inning.
Here's Gutierrez against Noesi. And there's a strike.
All of a sudden you look up, there's 17 hits. I mean, they've been struggling to score runs, struggling to pitching, doing everything. All of a sudden everything comes together, and I would not be surprised if a couple weeks down the road you look at, all of a sudden they put a little winning streak together. It happens. That's how quick it happens. But you can't ever forget that you can go right back into these bad streaks, and that's why you got to battle every single day.
Fly ball right field. Swisher shading his eyes from the sun with his bare hand, and he puts it away for the 2nd out. So King Felix has come back out. He wants to see the final outs of this game. King's Court.
It's a long road trip to watch a guy pitch, isn't it? Seattle.
Here's Jack Cuss. Count 1-0. 9-2 Seattle over the Yankees. Foul tip and count 1-1. Tonight, Kansas City plays Boston. Steve Garrison getting ready. Boston leads the Yankees by 2 in the American League East. So if the Yankees lose this, it'll be 2.5 pending that game tonight. Off speed for a strike and count 1-2.
This kind of goes to show you how in the American League East how heads above, you know, the Yankees and the Red Sox are. I mean, both of them. As well as the Yankees have played, you still look. The Red Sox are doing the same thing. So you've got to figure down the road here. A lot's going to be said and done on how you play against each other.
Cust swings and misses, and that'll do it. But the Mariners 2 more runs on 3 hits, so 1 man left. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? Last lick's coming up. Losing streak. The Yankees will try to extend it to 18 and rally here in the bottom of the 9th inning. But if they rally, they'll have to do it against one of the best, and that is Brandon League. He was in the All-Star game. He has not pitched much for the Mariners because they haven't had save situation. They've been getting blown out. 23 saves for him, and the big rumor is that he is on the trade market as the trade deadline approaches 4 p.m. on Sunday Eastern time. Eric Wedge probably can taste this, and boy, they will get on a flight and head back to Seattle, and that flight will seem a lot shorter with a win rather than an 18-game losing streak.
Sure, Lou Kukuz is going to see a little different attitude in the Seattle locker room after this one. First couple of days, last night they almost got no hit. Came in after losing 15 in a row.
Got a little different look there, huh? With the what is that? The plugs in his ear?
Plugs?
I think what happens with those is that when you have your ears pierced and you don't want to wear your diamonds out on the court, you wear those so that the holes don't close up or get dirt into the court, I mean on the field.
A little concerned that you know about that type of stuff, Mike.
Smoke puts it away to retire Martin. John, you gotta be hip on everything. Pop culture, all good. Paul O'Neill is the one who caught Coco Chris body piercing.
It's a 3D tattoo. I've never seen it before. Michael just threw in there. You got to be a little nervous when you stick a bolt in the side of your neck. It was a tattoo with like a BB stuck in the middle of it. I don't know, Flash. It kind of makes you feel old, but you just don't understand what you see on the field, right?
One thing you do know about League, he is nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Power sinker. Goes hard.
Tough hop, but played nicely by Smoke to retire Posada. And Seattle's 1 out away.
Keep your eye on the ball, right? Flash the whole way. Every once in a while, the ball catches you. Funky hop. Kind of anxious to see, you know, if they kind of all come out with smiles or finally like mad to the point where, you know, it took this long. Just how they, you know, how this team reacts to breaking that 17-game losing streak.
Nunez taps right back to League. He throws low, scooped up by Smoke, and that will do it. And the misery is finally over for Seattle as they win 9-2, and they snap a 17-game losing streak. Ichiro picked up 4 hits. In fact, they pounded out, I believe, 17 hits. And the Mariners will head to Seattle with a huge sigh of relief. The last time they won was a day after Independence Day, July 5th. So this snaps a 17-game losing streak and finally a reason to smile. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. When this losing streak started, the Mariners were a 500 team. Now they are 16 games under, but King Felix puts the Yankees away once again.